This is Audible.
Simon & Schuster Audio presents Way of the Wolf, Straight Line Selling, Master the Art of Persuasion, Influence, and Success. Written and read by Jordan Belfort.
Prologue: The Birth of a Sales System. What they say about me is true. I'm one of those natural-born salesmen who can sell ice to an Eskimo, oil to an Arab, pork to a rabbi, or anything else you can think of. But who really cares about that, right? I mean, unless you want to hire me to sell one of your products, my ability to close is basically irrelevant to you. Whatever the case, that's my gift. The ability to sell anything to anyone in massive quantities. And whether this gift comes from God or from nature, I really can't say. Although what I am able to say, with absolute certainty in fact, is that I am not the only person who was born with it. There are a handful of others who are sort of like me. The reason they're only sort of like me has to do with another precious gift I possess. A gift that's infinitely more rare and infinitely more valuable, and it offers a massive benefit to everyone, including you. What is this amazing gift? Quite simply, it's the ability to take people from all walks of life, regardless of age, race, creed, color, socioeconomic background, educational status, and level of natural sales ability, and turn that person into a world-class closer almost instantly. It's a bold statement, I know, but let me put it to you this way. If I were a superhero, then training salespeople would be my superpower, and there's not a soul on the planet who does it better than me. Now that sounded totally awful, right? I can only imagine what you're thinking right now. What a cocky bastard this guy is. So conceited, so damn full of himself. Let's throw the bastard to the wolves. Oh wait, he already is a wolf, isn't he? Actually, I'm an erstwhile wolf. But either way, I think it's time to formally introduce myself. I'm the Wolf of Wall Street, remember me? The one who Leonardo DiCaprio played on the silver screen? The one who took thousands of young kids who could barely walk and chew gum at the same time and turned them into world-class closers using a seemingly magical sales training system called the Straight Line? The one who tortured all those panic-stricken New Zealanders at the end of the movie because they couldn't sell me a pen the right way? You remember. On the heels of Black Monday, I took control of an irrelevant little brokerage firm named Stratton Oakmont and moved it out to Long Island to seek my fortune. And it was there, in the spring of 1988, that I cracked the code for human influence and developed that seemingly magical system for training salespeople. Its name was the Straight Line System, or the Straight Line for short, a system that proved to be so powerful and effective, and so easy to learn, that within days of inventing it, it brought massive wealth and success to anyone I taught it to. In consequence, thousands of young men and women began pouring into Stratton's boardroom looking to hop on the Straight Line gravy train and stake their claim in the American dream. For the most part, they were a decidedly average lot at best. Basically the sad, forgotten spawn of America's working-class families. They were kids who had never been told by their parents that they were capable of greatness, and any greatness that they naturally had in them had been literally conditioned out of them since the day they were born. By the time they made it into my boardroom, they were merely trying to survive, not to thrive. But in the post-Straight Line world, none of that mattered anymore. Things like education and intellect and natural sales ability were mere trivialities that could be easily overcome. All you had to do was show up at my door, promise to work your ass off, and I would teach you the Straight Line system and make you rich. But alas, there was also a dark side to all this precocious success. You see, the system turned out to be almost too effective. It created freshly minted millionaires at such a ferocious clip that they ended up skipping over the typical life struggles that most young men and women go through that serve to build their characters. The result was success without respect, wealth without restraint, and power without responsibility. And just like that, things began to spiral out of control. And so it was that in the same way that a seemingly innocuous tropical storm uses the warm waters of the Atlantic to grow and build and strengthen and mutate until it reaches a point of such critical mass that it destroys everything in its path, the straight line system followed an eerily similar trajectory, destroying everything in its path as well, including me. Indeed, by the time it was over, I had lost everything. My money, my pride, my dignity, my self-respect, my children for a time, and my freedom. But the worst part of it all was that I knew I had no one to blame but myself. I had taken a God-given gift and misused it, and I had taken an amazing discovery and bastardized it. The straight line system had the ability to change people's lives in a dramatic way, leveling the playing field for anyone who'd been held back from achieving greatness due to an inability to effectively communicate their thoughts and ideas in a way that connected with other people and moved them to take action. And what did I do with it? Well, besides breaking a fair number of records for the consumption of dangerous recreational drugs, I used my discovery of the world's most powerful sales training system to live out every adolescent fantasy I'd ever had, while empowering thousands of others to do the same. So yes, I deserve exactly what I got, completely wiped out. But of course, the story doesn't end there. And how could it, after all? I mean, how could a system that created such massive wealth and success for anyone who learned it simply fade away into obscurity? It couldn't. And of course, it didn't. It started with the thousands of ex-Stratonites who, after leaving the firm, began spreading the system around, bringing a watered-down version of it to a dozen different industries. Yet no matter where they went, or how watered down the version was, learning even a fraction of the straight line system was enough to take a struggling salesperson and turn them into a solid producer. Then I got involved. On the heels of 2 best-selling memoirs and a blockbuster Scorsese movie, I spread an undiluted version across the entire world to virtually every business and industry. From banking to brokerage to telco to the auto industry to real estate to insurance to financial planning to plumbers to doctors to lawyers to dentists to online marketers.